I'm Christina. We're here at Knotfest Australia. We're here to ask one important question. What is new metal?
Arrogance. Like, big middle finger to you.
You've got to be a bit arrogant to be in a new metal band.
All about Korn and Bizkit and Orgy and Cold Chamber, Mudvayne.
Attitude, energy.
It's a type of metal like that really pushed the boundaries in terms of, at that point in time, bringing in elements that weren't associated with traditional metal of any kind that came before it.
The way they're using the instruments to create crazy new noises.
It incorporates more of like this hip hop like taste to it.
Some electronics in there, maybe a DJ.
I mean, it comes with the name, new metal, you know?
I think it's computery, like it's a lot different from the older stuff, more like, I like more good riffs.
I would define it as fucking great.
Oh, it's defined in its own way, like they made their own fucking genre. They play and drop fucking B.
Drop, D, C.
No one did that, that was out of tune.
Fieldy on bass, he's not playing it like a bass, he's percussive.
The groovy part of new metal, like, definitely leans on like a different, it makes your body feel different.
It's very much, hype music. Just this, chug.
Music you can really bop to.
It's not like headbang. It's like it's got to bounce.
And be angsty too.
There's a couple holes in some walls in some houses that I'm not proud of.
It's like Burberry, it's not angry, you let it out.
Mate, the energy, the vibe of like being in a new metal pit.
I'm gonna hang a piss, I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna throw down.
Nothing will ever beat it, mate. Nothing will ever beat a fucking new metal pit.
Some of the most important characters in new metal would be, in my eyes, are the founders of it. So yeah, Limp Bizkit, Korn.
None of this shit, like none of it would be if it was not for Korn.
Linkin Park, Slipknot, hands down.
Slipknot, come on. It just fucking changed everything.
Hollywood Undead.
The fact that Ben Stiller is in a Limp Bizkit music video, like, is the fact that Fred Durst was in Zoolander.
He was the face of new metal for so many years.
I bought the red hat and I probably felt cool but looked real dumb.
I got nothing but respect for him. Their guitarist is phenomenal.
The originality of Wes's riffs.
Wes Borland, Limp Bizkit, he's like, okay, I'm gonna find a 4-string guitar and tune that down as low as I can and make up notes as I go. Look ridiculous, yeah.
They were one of my favorite bands growing up. Like Chocolate Starfish was an album I listened to going to school when I was like 14 and like listening to it every day.
I love seeing what Limp Bizkit can make a crowd do, just with simple drums. Nothing else, just drums. And Fred saying something funny.
The doco of Woodstock 99 and how Limp Bizkit just made that crowd tear shit up. I don't know. And just the way how he kind of throws his hand in the air, be like, it wasn't me, I didn't do that. But bro, he was such an instigator. So I don't know, take credit for it, mate.
Like, he was probably the biggest personality ever to come out of it, and that means he's got the target. That's it. Whether or not he's a good dude or he's done great things or he needs to be held accountable for stuff, that's completely different. But whether or not he ruined new metal, no, dude made bangers. Limp Bizkit made bangers. Like, no one can deny how big those songs are.
During the first wave of new metal, a broad range of bands with vastly different values and sonics were grouped under the genre, which created friction.
Looking back now, that a lot of things were just kind of like, the newish metal was more just a time and a place of bands doing something heavy that wasn't anything that had come before it. What links like Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park and Slipknot? Like, think of those three names. There's not much difference musically, like much similarity musically when you actually listen to them. Like, they're all got massively different identities. Korn, massively different sounds, and yet still like, that's just new metal. So I've always been confused by that.
Understandably, some of the bands who formed your average metal fan's concept of new metal didn't want to be associated with it.
They don't necessarily like the kind of bad boy image that comes with it. I guess sometimes it's a bit of toxic masculinity, I guess. There's a lot of that in there.
When it can be so trashy and you've got a band trying to do it serious, but they're using the same elements, obviously you're going to get lumped somewhere. They're going to put you on your CD in the same shelf as the other bands. You kind of can't help that in life.
I mean, grunge hated being called grunge. That's the thing. No one in like hair metal was like, I am hair metal. Someone outside was like, they've got hair. That's hair metal.
So whatever your take on new metal is, there are some talented artists that shaped this era in heavy music, like the Korn frontman who artfully made Torture on record truly accessible.
Jonathan Davis. Who fucking started fucking new metal.
Trailblazers, and still, like the integrity of Korn in terms of the emotional connection as well is wild.
He sung about shit that no one else sung about. It's a great, like, just, yeah.
Showing of like vulnerability to real darkness.
And they sung about, you know, being raped from a fucking male's point of view, and fucking about, you know, being bullied and all this shit while these dickheads sitting over here probably talking about their girlfriend fucking not making them dinner or some shit.
And it stood out. Like hearing like Freak on a Leash for the first time, you're just like, the hell is this? Like it really got under my skin.
And Korn just wanted to wear their guitars low. They found 7 strings for the first time, 7-string guitars, and they realised they could play lower notes than everyone else. I mean, he walks on stage with bagpipes. Like, you don't see that anywhere else.
I think the bands that are still around have done it spectacularly. So we're playing Knotfest today. And the thing with it is, as much as like people are like Slipknot, new metal, like the bands that you literally look at that are defined by their name and not by the title new metal are the ones that have done it well. And that's kind of what goes for everything in music in general.
Of course, Slipknot, they're like one of the big names in there. They're probably one of the biggest, I'd say.
Corey Taylor. I think he's just a legend. He has an amazing voice, and he loves the crowd.
So your mate, this guy here, he met Slipknot, and that changed everything. I was like, man, what is this music? What is this sound? A lot of these people like us felt this little bottle thing that you couldn't explode into. You just felt like you were alone or whatever else, and all of a sudden they come on and you felt inclusive. You felt like you were unity. All of a sudden they just come on and it was like, fuck yeah. There are people out there who are like us who just wanted to do their shit.
Slipknot was like the last band through that gate before it all kind of like, before the music industry turned its back on it. There's a lot of money. There was a lot of money involved in the industry. Like we've worked with producers who worked on many massive new metal albums. And when you'd now be recording an album for like tens of thousands of dollars. And you'd see the gold records on the wall and you'd be like, oh my God. And they're like, man, that time, you would not believe it. If they'd tell us, they'd just like, you'd blow through $2 million and the record's half done because everyone's just spending on drugs and it's just insane. It's a party every day. And then the label would just be like, no worries, and come down, throw another fucking $6 million at a record. And it was a sign of the music industry at that point in time. Like records used to sell millions upon millions and in heavy music, and that money went somewhere. Like that's the thing, it went somewhere, and a lot of the time it went up people's noses.
Times may have changed, but there's a new generation who couldn't love new metal more.
Honestly, all I can say is since it started, it's just evolved and gotten better. It's gotten better, it's gotten more talent, it's spread out a bit more, it's got more variety. New metal's just gone off recently, yeah.
What would I say to people who don't like new metal? Grow up. Grow up.
Fuck you!
Eat a dick. Go listen to your fucking Bieber fucking smack him with a dick fucking music.
Do you really not like it? Or are you just ashamed to admit you've never tried it?
Get around it, try it out. If you don't like it, give it a go. You might like it.
Well, actually, grow down. Be a bit more childish.
Oh, well, the legacy for new metal is just, I'm not too sure how to comment on that. It's just going to go down forever. The people who are impacted by it are always going to hold on to it, and that's what matters. It's something that if you're into it, you're fucking into it.